Penguins are cute, clumsy little guys in tuxedos. They slide around on the ice all day. They look harmless. That's what everyone thinks. And it's wrong, because the proof was hidden in a locked vault for over 100 years. The year is 1911. A British researcher named George Murray Levick is standing on Cape Adare, Antarctica, watching a colony of Adelie penguins. He is the first scientist to spend an entire breeding season observing them up close, and what he sees makes his stomach turn. He takes out his notebook, but he does not write in English. He writes his notes in Greek code, so the average person can never read them. When Levick finally returns to England, the Natural History Museum published his official reports. But there was one problem. They removed the penguin notes completely. The findings were considered too graphic, too disturbing, too depraved for the public to handle. Only a handful of copies were printed, stamped with a warning, then passed privately to elite scientists, because the world was not ready to know what these birds actually do when the cameras stop rolling. Behind those cute waddling steps, there is chaos, pure chaos. Adelie penguins have been observed showing gang behavior, violent attacks, and shocking treatment of weaker birds. Male penguins can form roving groups, harassing lonely females. Injured chicks are not always protected. Sometimes they become targets. But it gets worse. Penguins are also ruthless thieves, and in their world, rocks are currency. A penguin needs stones to build a nest high enough to stay above the freezing mud. But stones are rare, so penguins steal them. One penguin will look another penguin dead in the eye, wait for it to turn around, then steal from its nest. And if it gets caught, it turns into a wing-slapping street fight. Blood, noise, chaos. Some females have even learned to fake affection with lonely males, just long enough to steal a single rock when his back is turned. And that brings us to the human cost of these birds. Imagine you are an explorer in 1898. You are trapped on a ship, frozen inside Antarctic ice for 13 months. Your food is disappearing, your body is breaking down, you have scurvy, and the only thing keeping you alive is penguin meat. That was the reality for the crew of the Belgica. They described the taste of penguin as a mix of beef, yellowish codfish, and canvas. Even the smell of the colony was enough to overwhelm grown men. Because penguin waste is so chemically intense, it can release huge amounts of nitrous oxide, laughing gas. So let's do a quick reality check. You are standing on the ice, breathing in laughing gas, while watching a flightless bird aggressively vomit half-digested krill into its baby's mouth. That is not cute. That is a madhouse. But the real nightmare is not even their behavior, it is their anatomy. When you look at a penguin, it seems like a chubby little football with legs. Round body, tiny steps, funny walk, but if you took an X-ray of a penguin, you would see something deeply unsettling. Penguins actually have long legs. They are just hidden inside the body and permanently bent. A penguin is spending its entire life in a squat position. It is basically doing a wall sit for 15 years straight. And then there is the mouth. If a penguin opens its beak, you are not going to see a cute little bird tongue. You are going to see a pink cavern covered in backward-facing spikes. Spikes on the tongue, spikes on the roof of the mouth, spikes pointing inward. They look like fleshy teeth, and once a fish goes in, those spikes lock it in place, like a medieval trap. There is no escape. But remember the manuscript from 1911, the one the museum buried. In 2012, more than a century later, it was finally uncovered. And inside it were the observations Levick had hidden in Greek code. He recorded male penguins mating with dead penguins, sometimes months after they had died. It did not matter if the body was decaying. The instinct was so blind, so aggressive, that it overrode reality itself. But here is the twist. The penguins are not actually evil. Modern scientists believe Adelie penguins have an incredibly short window to breed before the Antarctic winter returns. Young, inexperienced males are running on instinct. They see a bird lying still and their brain misreads the signal. They may not understand the difference between a living female and a body that has been dead for weeks. They are not monsters. They are animals trapped inside a broken biological script. So the next time you see a cute animation of a happy penguin sliding down an iceberg, remember what is underneath the tuxedo.
Remember the spikes. Remember the rocks. Remember the hidden manuscript. And remember that this tiny bird was so disturbing it spent a century being censored by the British establishment.